Team building exercises are useless for building teams. Now, it's not to say they're totally without merit, but if you're expecting a change in team culture, you'll be sadly disappointed. Welcome to Moments with Marty, your short, sharp shot of leadership insight to help you to stay on track between our weekly episodes of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast. Team building exercises take many forms. First, you have lunches, drinks, and dinners. They're fairly innocuous. They don't require much thought or planning, and it's pretty easy to limit people's risk exposure. Having said that, we've all sat at dinners trapped by a colleague who we have nothing in common with. And more importantly, we have zero interest in trying to find that common ground. Next, we have offsites, going to a conference centre to get away from the office and focus on a specific topic. Typically, that would be strategic planning. Now, these are often multi-day events and they can cover a lot of ground. They're usually a mix of, work, team building exercises, and social activities. And of course, finally, we have activity days. The classics, at least in Australia, are paintball, go-kart racing, and rope courses. They can be fun and they can be physically demanding, but they can also inflict minor psychological scarring. Now, the theory behind all of these formats is they build trust, understanding, and goodwill between team members. But the reality is, if you dislike someone before the team building activity, you're not going to like them any better afterwards. If you don't trust someone beforehand, you're unlikely to trust them anymore afterwards. And if your communication with another team member is strained, it won't magically become less strained at the end of the paintball game. The common trend at these events is that people who already have good relationships tend to gravitate to each other. They enjoy some quality time together away from the hustle and bustle, but it does precisely nothing to create greater team cohesion. As I said at the start, team building exercises aren't completely without merit. Just the deliberate act of putting people together can serve as a forcing mechanism for them to communicate and exchange ideas. But you don't need a team building exercise to do that. It can be achieved just as effectively by having tight, structured, well-run meetings. Ultimately, if you're going to spend time, money, and energy on a team building exercise, you'd expect some sort of tangible return on investment. But I've never come across anyone who could describe an ROI other than muttering vague notions of better team cooperation and greater understanding. Like many things in business, the team building exercise is just another Hail Mary pass. It's a long shot to try to improve team dynamics. But the only thing that will actually improve team dynamics, relationships, and performance is leadership. The type of leadership that builds a constructive, high-performance culture. There are no shortcuts. There are no secret hacks. If you want to change the culture, you can't avoid doing the hard work of leadership. An afternoon of go-kart racing might be fun, but any benefit you think you're getting is going to be left on the track. Because culture isn't determined by what you do in an afternoon out of the office. It's determined by how you lead, the standard you set, the confidence you build, the momentum you create. So, by all means, take your team for a bit of fun off-site, but don't expect it to have the slightest impact on team performance. If you want to make sure you don't waste money on team building exercises that do little to help team performance, have a listen to episode 170 of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast. Epic team building fails. We'll leave a link in the show notes. I really hope you enjoyed this moment and that it gives you that extra little spark to be a no bullshit leader.